Hey, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. How y'all doing today? Let's see if somebody come on here. Make sure we're online. So I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, hey, Princess A, number one, Prima Wanda, Brina, the Supreme Coven. Hey, Blue Skies. Hi, you guys. All right, so we all know what happened. This cop that killed Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta, he has been charged with 11 counts, including murder. So apparently in Georgia, they don't have first, second, and third degree murder. They have felony murder. So he's been charged with that. The other cop, what was his name? Bronzett. He at first, when they announced it this morning, they said that he had agreed to testify for the state, right? That he was gonna cooperate with the state. Now, within the last hour, they're saying that no, he's talked to his lawyer, and his lawyer says no, he is not testifying for nobody. So apparently, people have gotten to him and said that no, we can't have cops. We got to stick together. That's what they usually do it, right? But he said he's cooperating. However, he's not testifying. I don't know what his testimony would include. It's not like they had some plan to go and get this man before. We all saw exactly what he saw, pretty much. Matter of fact, we probably had better angles than he saw because he was running behind them as well. Now, he might be able to testify to what this man said afterwards or on approach, but I don't know that his testimony will be all that valuable anyway. But he is cooperating. I don't think he's going to end up with much time, this second guy. But he said he's not going to testify. That tells me that his lawyer has talked him into changing his verbiage, or the cops have. He is still on the force, so I imagine that after you have testified against this cop in a murder charge, you probably wouldn't have very much of a career left there anyway, right? They set him up or something. Anyway, this dude's going away for murder. He's going away forever. Because felony murder only carries life in prison or the death penalty. Not likely he'll get the death penalty, but he could get life in prison. Life in prison now. So a lot of us, I know you guys don't want to admit it, but a lot of us were thinking, well, damn, it seems like this is what a cop would do. It's because I think we've been saturated with all this television stuff and this movie stuff where we see how these cops act on television. That's not in real life. In real life, you cannot shoot people in the back. Right? So it looked like it was perhaps it was justified shooting in the beginning. It looked like the guy grabs his weapon. But the key thing is the guy, Rayshard Brooks, did not grab a deadly weapon. So he didn't grab a gun. If he had grabbed a gun and turned around and pointed it at the cop, then he would be justifying in shooting him, right? But since he was only pointing a taser at him, and they say that all these cops have been tased before. That's part of their training. They have to be tased to know what this does. It only lasts a few seconds, whatever, but it immediately immobilizes you. Anyway, having said all that, the other guy, Bronzett, is charged with aggravated assault. He's charged with assault because he was seen kicking this man and or putting his foot on him after the man was already shot, right? So they're taking real offense to the fact that he kicked him or put his foot on his hand. Now, they're probably going to say that he put his foot on his hand so he wouldn't grab a weapon, although he'd been shot in the back. Okay. How y'all doing? So Atlanta, they're still protesting. They haven't slowed their protest yet, but this is kind of what they wanted, right? So we're hoping that Atlanta could come back. I see they blocked off the freeway where this thing happened at this Wendy's and all this kind of stuff. But since they're getting exactly what they asked for, perhaps this part will be quelled. But we have to remember that they were already in protest. The whole city was in protest before this even happened. This is something that was stacked on top of the other. Right? Hey, people. How y'all doing today? There's so much racial stuff in the news right now. Another thing, this is kind of a much lighter thing. So we know, okay, this man, Garrett Rolfe, he's been charged with felony murder. If he doesn't beat the case, he got to beat the case. If he doesn't beat the case, he could go away for life in prison. Technically, he could get the death penalty because it is considered murder when you shoot somebody in the back. In other words, if they're running away, you can't shoot them. In other news, there was this thing. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah. Okay, when I was a young boy, we lived in a black neighborhood, right? My parents broke up, and my mother had to move into this project. It was a new project. Project was in a all-white neighborhood, but right in the middle of it, they said this project. What's the name of it? The Ponderosa in Indianapolis, Indiana, right? The first time I ever heard, I had not been around white people before that. Correct? The first racial joke I ever heard in my life was when we went to that school. It wasn't called busing, but busing was to happen just 2 years later. But anyway, I went to the school, and some white kid came up to me and my friends, and they said, "Ain't your mama on the pancake box?" I still remember it. I had to be 9 years old. A scuffle ensued, but that's the first time I ever heard that, right? Well, they're taking down, after all these years, they are finally removing the name Aunt Jemima, because Jemima, that is from a Quaker Oats. I guess they had pancakes, pancake syrup, waffles, or something else. Anyway, they're changing the name. Because of these racial times, they've decided that we're no longer going to call Aunt Jemima pancakes Aunt Jemima. And then they changed the image a long time ago. The original image was like a minstrel-looking character, right? And they changed him with the scarf on her head and all that. So they've had just a regular-looking black lady on there, but the issue was the name. So we don't know if they're going to change the lady's image. Is there still going to be a black woman on there? Or are they just going to change the name? Or maybe they'll just take the whole thing away. So after that happened, that company is now owned by PepsiCo. So it's Pepsi-Cola. The other questionable character we've had forever is Uncle Ben's rice. So now Uncle Ben is going to follow suit. So they're going to change. That's owned by Mars Company. I guess the company that makes Mars Bar. They are going to change the name of Uncle Ben's rice as well. It's a little progress, but it is something. At least people are acknowledging some of these things. They're taking down Confederate flags. They're taking down these names of these Confederate soldiers where they named the bases. There's a movement to change those all over the country, all over the South, I should say. They're taking down all these monuments to these Confederates who lost their war. So things are happening. Unfortunately, it took a tragedy to set all these things off, but this movement to take down Confederate flags, and that's been going on for a while. That's a lot about what Charlotte was all about. Okay, people. What else do we want to cover? Let me see. One other thing I want to take mention of. This dude, this damn... I'm so sick of talking about Trump. This fool is actually going to make those people go into 60,000 people on Saturday. They had to force him to change. He was so arrogant and such a narcissist and a sociopath that he was going to have this big rally of his on Juneteenth in Tulsa. Now he changed it one day. So now it's going to be the next day. He is actually going to be the people who support him. Well, why would you? If you support these people, why would you want to murder them? You're killing them, people. As I walked my dog today, I had a friend in the park, right? Old white guy, nice guy. He had a dog, I had a dog, right? We always walk each other. But lately I've been seeing he hasn't been around much. He's in his 80s. So I saw him today, and I finally able to speak to him, and he said that, well, he had to send the dog away. The dog was too hard to handle. His nose was, it had snot coming all out his nose. He didn't look well. That's my point. He didn't look well. He had been missing for the last few weeks, and he had to send his dog away. Right. He went to touch this dog. I didn't want to hurt the man's feelings. He's obviously going through, but I would rather, if somebody's sick, they didn't have gloves on, wouldn't touch the dogs even though there's no evidence that they can transmit from an animal, but you still, if it's on their coat, if you touch it, I don't know. Anyway, so I went around the park, and as I was coming down, I ran into another neighbor of mine. This is an older lady. She's in her 80s. She told me she has been ill, and she has had corona, and she's been in and out of the hospital for the last few weeks. I hadn't seen her. So what I'm saying all that to say is people are getting sick. These older people are really getting sick. This is a very real thing. How is Trump going to have his supporters, which a lot of them are just old white people, Republicans, but the white hair, they always vote. But he's going to expose these people for him to have a rally, for a couple of hours to boost his ego? He could run his campaign from home, just like Biden. They can ward out online, virtual. But no, he's going to expose these people. And a lot of these people, the ones who are young, they're going to take that right back to their parents or their grandparents. They're going to expose them unnecessarily to this virus. Then he got Trump, there's Pence on here. We would not be no better off with him. He comes out here and straight out lying, talking about the rates are going down in Oklahoma, which is a lie. They're going up, way up. Anyway, this fool is going to go over here and he don't even know how to give it. He don't get no speech. It's just like a pep rally to boost his ego. He doesn't go in there with any plans, really. He goes in there and tells a lot of jokes and a lot of racially charged epithets or whatever they call them. Anyway, so he is going forward with that. And then, believe me, we're not going to get the real results for how many people are going to get sick and how many people are going to die from that experience. Just going to see Donald Trump. He don't give a damn. All right, people, I'm not a newscaster. I had to get all that out, I guess. How y'all today? Okay, everybody saying hello. I think he can get life. Yes, he can get life. Blue skies. If you have felony murder, you can get. I guess so. Atlanta doesn't have murder 1, 2, and 3. That's how they determine your sentence in most states. But yeah, if he's found guilty, they can give him life. I guess there's only 2 options: life in prison, life without parole, or death penalty. Lord, you have to wonder, how are these people trained? Were they trained that it was okay if this guy punched his taser to shoot him, kill him? Where did it come from? Where did the idea come from that he could do that? He's going down, that's for sure. That other cop, he said that he was going to cooperate and testify and all that. I'd imagine his lawyer, after he talked to his lawyer, that's when he came back and said, no, I'm not testifying with nothing. I'll cooperate, however. But he don't have that much more information than we have. Unless they try to make a cover story afterwards or something like that. Or unless he was spoken to by higher ups. But those cops will make his life a living hell if he testifies. Hey, Bright Star in chat. All chats. Let me see. Okay. Betty, he won't shoot. I don't think he's going to get much opportunity to shoot anybody else, Blue Sky. Yeah, his experience with owning a gun, that's definitely over. He more than likely, he won't even, his youth is even shot. He's going to spend most of his time in behind bars. I don't think he'll ever let him have a gun again. But I think we are influenced by all this stuff we watch on television. Today I was trying to watch Netflix. So let me watch something on Netflix, right? every damn thing that was on there. It was all about serial killers and people. Everybody was about killing people and violence and or horror or something. Americans are obsessed with violence. We always have been. Always been cops and robbers, you know. But life is 30 years. Yeah, he's about 30 years old, so he'd be my age when he got out. If everything went perfectly inside. Sometimes inside things will happen. You will have to defend yourself, and you find your ass in there for another 10 years. Folks in prison, not all that wild about cops. You can say, well, they'll be in protective custody. I don't think they'll be in protective custody for 30 years. I don't know. I've heard of some states you do life, you can get out in 20 years, 15 years even. I do not know. We still got to go through the trial, though. Hopefully Atlanta's not going to protest the whole time. Rodney King riots, they didn't even happen until after they got the verdict. So they're kind of stuck. They're caught between a rock and a hard place. They're going to have to convict him. And they just said that convicting him means life in prison. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of other options, cop. Where is it at? It's not about the training. It's about the individual police officers and racism. Understand? Are you telling me, do I understand or you understand? Chris Calley. The whole thing happens like that. We're talking about seconds here now. The other one is he's being charged because they didn't get him assistance in 2 minutes. So let me see. 1, 2. Okay, he didn't get assistance that fast. He has been charged with assault. Mm-hmm. Right. Just when we thought it was getting better. Okay, Aunt Jemima is gone. Do you think Coons Ford should go also? What is Coons Ford? I never heard of it. Coons Ford. What was that damn bar I went by? I got so upset by one time I was passing this bar in the Castro, right? And there used to be a black bar there called the Pendulum in the Castro, the only black bar in the Castro back in the 70s and 80s. And they finally closed it in the 2000s, right? So I went by it, and it was called, what's it called now? Coon, wasn't Coon. Let me see. Toad Hall, they changed the name to. Oh, I got so upset. I called one of my pastors in my church. I said, I can't believe these people. They calling it what used to be the Pendulum. They're calling it Toad Hall, because my experience has been in prison, that's what they call black people. That was another one of these racial slurs. Coons, toads. He said, no, calm yourself down. Toad Hall has a history in that bar. It was a bar in the Castro during the, I guess, 60s and 70s. It already had a history. It had nothing to do with, it was always called Toad Hall. The emblem was a toad kind of thing. But it happened long before I knew about all these prison people who had this different kind of language. These gay people, they didn't necessarily know the language of prisoners, right? Anyway, so I never heard of Coons Ford, but I was surprised that even in that same day, they said Uncle Ben's got to go too. Uncle Ben's got to go. Confederate flags got to go. A lot of stuff is changing. A lot of things are changing. These are racial times. Although it didn't seem like the races are fighting, it still seems to be most of we all in agreement, and we're just fighting against police brutality and cops. But you can't see you're driving. Okay, don't hit nothing, Nikki. Please don't attempt to look at your screen. How are you? Bright Star, how much more can we take? Toad Hall. Oh my God. Yep, that's the name of the bar there. It's been there. Apparently it's had a long history of being a bar. No one else seemed to find it very racist. I bet the people in San Quentin, they found they racist, not that they would be going to Castro. Now, the lady they've had on the Jemima thing, she ain't, it's nothing slave looking about her or, the original, even the one that was around when I was young, she had the head wrapped around. That's when they had all black people were always maids, had to make that, they always played maids and all that kind of stuff. Stereotype. But the woman doesn't look stereotyped. So I don't know if they'll keep a black woman on there or not. It might be considered a good thing. But they're definitely going to change her name. Because Jemima, that was a character in some kind of minstrel thing at that time. No, I must be sleeping, Asha. Asha said, Uncle Tib, did you see the police woman who cried over a McDonald's order? What's she crying about? Oh, she's probably on the verge. She's probably on the verge of tears already, but all this police stuff. And then when she saw that flat burger with no lettuce on there, no pickles, it would just push her over the edge. So y'all done changed the name of these white ladies who are calling the cops all the time, right? It used to be Becky. Last time I was paying attention, but I see now, what's her name now? Pam or something? What's y'all calling the white ladies now who call the police? It went from Becky to somebody else. Is it Pam? Karen. I don't know, people. There've been a whole slew of them on there too. Hi, Miss Karen. What's wrong, Miss? Here we had Becky, Barbecue Becky, or whatever her name was. People always calling the police. People, y'all been in interracial relationships. Y'all understand that if you and your partner get into it, right? That was my fear of my lover when we used to have some pretty bad arguments. Anyway, he always threatened me when I call the police. You know who they're gonna take. And sure enough, one time I pushed him or something, and he called the cop. They were all over my ass. I had to move out. I'll call the police. That's the first thing come out the mouth. Maybe he should have. I mean, I didn't get mad at him about that. But he was right. As soon as they start coming, I started packing my shit. Leave my Karen alone. Hey, teacher, leave my Karen alone. I'm sorry, Maya. I guess the black Karens get a pass. I hate to say it, but that's the impression I get about some of these people on YouTube always talking about calling the police on people. How you're any different than them? Calling the police on people for bullshit. You don't know what the hell's going to happen to them. And it eventually end up in a tragedy somewhere. Stay out them police face. Somebody rob you at gunpoint, call the cops. Other than that, there are reasons to call them, but don't call them for bullshit, honey. All right, it's a pleasure to see you, Queen. Wednesday evening. Can y'all believe this Trump is gonna? He is such a fucking sociopath that he doesn't even care about exposing these people to this virus. I mean, why has he got Prince on her coming on her lying, talking about the virus? Oh, the numbers are way back down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oh, the numbers are so far. It's a damn lie. They're up, and they're going up higher starting Saturday, Trump. Now, those are going to be up all the people. I think Trump is influenced by the fact that so many black people have died from this thing. I think it makes him care less. It's just in his character. So now he's going to expose, these are all white people coming to this thing. But they're white, but they're old. And they got heart conditions. And they got kidney disease. It's an idiot. That man is an idiot. So Trump, I guess when yours will start dropping, then maybe you start paying attention again. Not that he ever did. I mean, like Bolton said. Who's that guy, John Bolton? Was he the Secretary of Defense or something? Anyway, he's got a book coming out. the next couple of days. Trump and his administration trying to stop the publication of the book, because every time anybody writes a book about anything goes on the White House, it always makes him look like a clown and an idiot and an evil person. So Bolton's book is coming out any day now. So they're already starting to release snippets of it. Maybe that's part of their plan, because they know what he's going to be up to. And he's saying that he had also wanted China to help him get reelected. So not only was it Russia or Ukraine, it's China as well. He saw and heard it with his own eyes. And they all say he's a fucking idiot. His only function in there is to stay in office. America, I guess we got what we asked for. You wanted somebody, you don't give a damn. He done lied thousands and thousands of times. You don't care. You don't think it don't matter. Whatever. That's what you get. Fucking liar. Used to be when we found a president lied about something, it was big news, right? Now we don't even remember what all the shit that man done did since he's been in there. We're talking about Corona right now, but he has been in scandal since the day he took office and before. Bringing COVID. Yep, it's gonna all be circulating amongst them. I got a mask on. Yeah, right. So you coughed, took your mask down, then you got COVID. You got 60,000 people all around you. He done rented out the hall next door. Overflow. Oh, look, they love Trump. They love Trump. And all he basically does is go up there and tell a bunch of jokes. It's all just to get a laugh, right? People are crazy. Well, take your ass down there and you're going to see what happens to you. What is China going to do? Bolton is saying that Trump asked China to help him get reelected. And Trump was down for them. China wanted to put Muslims in concentration camps or something like that. And Trump was encouraging them to do it. See, he admires all of this kind of, those kind of people, these dictators and so forth. That's the only book he's reading. He probably done hid all his Hitler copies now. It was a woman from Wendy's who called the police to begin with because the man was asleep in the drive-thru. Well, I mean, the lady called the police because, I mean, I'm sure you ain't gonna go banging on his door if he's drunk. That whole thing just got so far out of control. The man said he could walk. They should have just, listen, could you pull your car out of the way? Go ahead and walk home. Okay, or give us your keys or whatever. Take your keys and we'll bring them to you. Pick your keys up at the police station, something like that. But when you go, they went digging in his police record and all that, or they start putting. Nothing happened until he put the handcuffs. As soon as he heard that handcuffs, because that means basically it's over. When they put the handcuffs on you, usually you go into jail. So, I mean, the whole thing went all whatever. It's bad for everybody around, particularly that man who's lost his life. I wish he wouldn't have run, though. Oh, I just wish people would stop all this resisting. You know. Anyway, I guess you have to be there in the moment. I don't know, Blue Skies, where we're at with China now. He's supposed to be friends with the China president, but now since Corona, they're trying to blame China for Corona. So I don't know what their relationship is now. President Xi. I hope his fool if he's getting there for 4 more years, he's probably going to lead us in war somewhere. Right? He's always so anxious to blame somebody else. What happened to your Corona task force, Trump? What happened? Is anything changed? Do we even have only place I can see significant change is New York City. The rest of the country is as bad or worse. What happened to your task force, Trump? He used the task force instead of telling us about the disease. He used it all for his campaigning. Easier to count how many truths he's told. I don't know what the draw is with these people, though. I know that he does a lot of race baiting and stuff like that. And I know he identified, I won't say all racist type, but racial types. Put it like that. He's always identified himself to be one of them, and everyone else is the other. That's what he ran on. But I don't know how they can deal with his incompetence. They had 4 years to experience that. Most of the whole 4 years, he's been either in trial, in impeachment, or hiding from some disasters of his. I mean, every week a different disaster since the very beginning. He went right in there firing the damn FBI head of FBI, lying on him. Oh, the Rona. Y'all heard my what's his boy's name? Y'all heard what's that child's name in Atlanta? He's doing his song, Rona. I forget what the hell. The big muscle guy. It'll come back to me in a minute. Hey, Nicole. Nicole Reloaded. Blue Skies, it's horrible. Where's Blue Skies that's for? How come everybody else can read their comments? They don't got to be all down like this, like an old man. Maybe I should make them bigger. No, that's whatever. What do you need a rally for? All the ones that want to vote for Trump, they don't got to go no rally to vote for Trump. They already decided to go. It's all for his ego. You want to go over here and them hollering. You're not running for anything, Trump. The ones who are going to vote for Trump are already going to vote for Trump. Ones who are going to vote Democrat, they're already going to vote Democrat. You don't need these dumbass rallies. Every time he gets a rise, it's either about something, about some kind of racial thing or some joke. The trans woman was killed in Philly today. Okay. Both. Oh my goodness. What? Not right now, Brenda. I have to go and see what happened there. Yeah, it's horrible what happens to these trans women. Seems like black ones get it worse than anybody else. And then, unfortunately, a lot of those people have gotten off as well. That has to change as well. They're saying they didn't know these people were transgender. So when they found out they were transgender, they cut their legs off and all this. I'll have to go and see what happened there. So I can't talk on it right now, Brenda. But yeah, they've had it harder than even just being black. Just being black wasn't bad enough. Sometimes people want to cover their own ass. They do something when they had a few drinks and they sober up and then they hate the person because they did it. Ouch. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Is Carlton Pearson still there? Carlton Pearson and his Azusa. I think he's still there. I mean, he's more than one place now, but they opened up place. Primo Wanda, you're in Indiana too? Did you tell me that before? Okay, I'm from Indianapolis. Yeah, they opened up all this stuff. I ain't going nowhere. Well, one place I did call the dog groomer yesterday. So he's supposed to go in next month, the 9th. I guess if I have gloves on, a mask on, drop him off. And then they're going to wash him and all that kind of stuff. But they're touching all the dog, right? So I would have to come I would have to come home, take the gloves off, then wash him again, even though they washed them, and then sanitize and all that. We'll make a process out of it, but I think that'll be the first thing I do is get the dog groomed. He's been 3 months. He usually goes about every 6 weeks, 2 months. They knew they were trans. A lot of times they know they're transgender. They do it to cover their ass. Or somebody finds out they've been, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, they need to make a law where where you can't just, because you didn't know that, or you say you didn't know that, now you're able to murder that person and get off with a couple years. That's bullshit. It's still murder. Go home and lick your wounds, honey. Since you didn't know that. You ain't got a right to kill somebody. The great Carlton Pearson. There is no hell. He's a friend of our church too. I like Carlton Pearson. It's all theory. He doesn't know absolutely there is no hell. I mean, we don't know absolutely anything. You know, we know we got these great designs, fingers and toes and mouth and lips and all the stuff it takes to put a person together. Somebody had to design it. You know, I can hear it because I have ears. Somebody had to decide it need to be there. We know there's God, but we can say absolutely that there is. I don't think there's no hell either. I don't think it makes no damn sense. But everybody's entitled to their own belief. They turned on him. But Carlton Pearson does all right. I mean, he's resurrected his career. Maybe he won't be, but maybe he didn't need to be the big mega preacher. Most of them are corrupt because after that money starts coming in, it becomes a money game anyway. So I don't think it makes you a better preacher just because you have a big audience. The Fine Brothers. Hey, Nathan Caskill, thanks for the super chat. The Fine Brothers. BFE, the React channel. What are you saying? Try not to, etc. Okay. Are in trouble over a blackface video that has surfaced. Okay. So the Fine Brothers on the React channel are in trouble because over a blackface video that has surfaced. Kennedy Zimmett and many other reactors and staff have quit the channel. Okay, we got to check that out. Let me put this down too. So we can check on this trans girl. FBE. All right, we'll see what's happening. There's so much in the news these days, right? Hard to keep up. So are most cities still protesting? Last night here, there was a big booms, like 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. Somebody said it's some kind of explosive. I don't know if it was set off by the cops or set off by the protesters, but we're still protesting here. What are you doing for Juneteenth? Staying right here. I'm talking to you, Almond Brown. I'm not going nowhere, honey. I don't go that many places anyway. I don't go in no crowds, but I'm definitely not going to be gathering for the Juneteenth. I can celebrate from right here. And then when I saw those 2 people, older people, who I see on a regular, one's my neighbor, one's the guy with the dog, those people have been going through hell. They could have died. This corona thing is very real. And sometimes when it's right in your face, you'll say, oh, my shit. Am I being safe enough? So for right now, all I'm doing is taking the dog out for a walk morning and evening. I don't encounter people usually when I do that. And then maybe go in the store once a week. But no restaurants. I haven't done anything. I'm not going to allow these people because they say, okay, yeah, go out there now. Isn't that what Trump's doing? He's telling all the people coming to the rally, if I get from other states and everything else, yep, it's safe. Come on. Based on what, Trump? Because you said it's safe. Why you got me signing a waiver then so I can't sue your ass when my grandmother dies? Just that he would have the documents printed up, 60,000 documents printed up, tells you that he knows there's a good chance that they're going to get coronavirus. Idiot. Oh, Jesus Christ. Try not to get worked up. There's a movie, Mary Pratt. Have you seen Come Sunday? Is it called Come Sunday? Carlton Pearson movie on Netflix. It's still on there. Tells his story about when he said there was no hell, how the church turned on him. Yeah, he hasn't changed his story either. He's still preaching the same way. He's went through a few different kind of churches, I think, but now I believe he's still there in Tulsa. Or did he go to Chicago? He may have more than one residence. Some of them do. All said and done. 11 counts on Ralph. He better worry about that one count and that murder, that felony murder. They may be, maybe they're going to try to plead. I'm sure he was accept the plea deal on any of the other charges, but most of the other charges they carry 20 years too. So he's definitely just mess his life up completely. I guess a cop is supposed to tackle these people. When they see them running away, they can't shoot them in the back. That's for sure. So, and I heard one of those guys from Atlanta say that they can't even shoot them in the back with a taser. Although I think they would probably get away with that. But this guy had already tussled with this guy. He probably didn't feel like he could tackle him. He's a pretty good sized man. He's strong as hell. So when they were chasing him, they had already seen that he almost kicked two of them in the ass. I wouldn't want to be in any of those people's shoes. People who have lost their family member, any of the cops, I wouldn't want to be any part of it. Just a horrible thing. I don't know. Of course, you got to pick sides. You know, you can't be on here having any sympathy or any mercy to anyone. So thank God it comes down to the 12 jurists. They have to decide, not us. Apparently, it was a white woman burned down Wendy's. Yeah, these protests, though, depending on what city you're in, I haven't seen it being exclusively black people. I guess some of the crowds in Atlanta seemed like a lot of black people, but like here, they ain't mostly black people. Most of these cities, so we can't be, they're protesting with us as well. America has had enough time for a change. And we don't need to be turning on each other for these damn politicians, because that's what Trump will try to do. We got to see what he says at his damn rally. He's going to be trying to turn the races, honey. That's what he does. That's how he got in office in the first place. You look forward to my old voice? Well, thank you, Gwen. Let me try to fix it up. A scratchy throat. It seemed like I used to have scratchy throat all the time, and then the last few months it's been okay. Now it's scratchy again. Whatever. I know I bought all this cold medicine stuff when it first started talking about Corona. I wanted to be well stocked. I have not opened none of those bottles. So putting this mask on and staying in the house, it is showing me that I am not getting a whole lot of stuff, because this is the flu season after all, and cold season and all that. Be quiet, ding dong. Forgive my dog. Oh, that cops can't to taser a suspect that is running away or shoot the suspect either. Okay, that's what I heard too, Catherine. Catherine Powell says Georgia has a law that cops can't try to taser a suspect that is running away or shoot a suspect either. So they have to physically restrain them then. Well, they have his driver's license. They know where he lives. They got his address. I guess they have to make a show out of chasing him, but they're gonna have. I mean, if it's anything like here, they probably gonna have 40 cops there in the next 3 or 4 minutes anyway. So they're saying no, you can't be firing things at people who are running away. I ain't never trusted them. I ain't never run from no cop in my whole damn life because I've always known they were shooting my back. I've been real clear about it. Mama made that real clear early on. And we were having these same kind of arguments back when I was living in the project. Back 8 and 9 years old. I think the first one I remember, we had a trailer park. We lived in between 2 trailer parks, right? One for poor people, and the other one was for retirees. And there was a lot of cops in there. And one cop, this black kid, had come through from the projects to walk through. We had to walk past the trailer park, the double wides. We had to walk past them in order to get to the supermarket, right? So one of them had caught some kid, stepped on his grass, and took in the black kid. He was an ex-cop, and spanked the boy. The kid was 8 years old, I believe, because he was my age. He had to be between 8 and 10. We only lived there a couple of years. We lived there 3 years. So we were having court cases, all this kind of stuff, till we finally got that cop off of. So the cop was not retired. He was about to retire, and they forced him into early retirement, or they fired him. But we had to go to court. We had back then we were all wearing dashikis, and the power to the people kind of thing. We all had to show up in court. Back then, that was in 1960, 69. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Isn't that the place where a race massacre occurred? Yep. They need to add that to our kids' education. So why is he having his rally there, of all places? Asshole. Because they tried to deny it even happened. Yep. Big race riot there, right? Lisa says, hello, Screeny. Hi, Screeny. Look at his face. Look at his face. Hi, Screeny. Lisa says, hello. What you doing? Don't bother me, Dad. I had to wash him. After the guy touched him today, I had to wash him. So he's all fluffy. Flu season? Isn't this the flu season? I don't know. I do get a flu shot every year. So I guess we're just holding off until they got another vaccine. I don't know what else will be safe. You don't spank nobody's child. Yep, that cop sure found that out. I don't remember exactly. Was he retired or about to retire or something? I know we all had to go to court. All the little kids had to go to court and testify that this guy had been harassing people from coming through the trailer park. Yeah, but he was off the job after that. I don't know what the circumstances were. Standing you a round of applause. Atlanta justice system has been standing you a round of applause. No, that mayor of yours, can you guys believe how many black mayors there are? I mean, black women mayors there are. I can't believe it. I said, I didn't know all these big cities had black mayors. I mean, black women mayors. So I'm pretty sure that Biden is going to choose a black woman as the first female black vice president. They're saying that he's leaning in the direction. It's definitely going to be a woman, I would say at this point. Good chance it'll be a black woman. So they're starting to scrutinize the Atlanta mayor as well. Ms. Bottoms. Okay, Twitter said the cops are quitting in mass in Atlanta zone 673 zone. Is that 6, 7, and 3? Or is there a zone called 673? Turn in their keys. Post on Twitter said. Okay, they're running for the hills. I don't want to be no damn cop. I just maybe some people feel like they're I don't know why they do it. Somebody on here said a couple of days ago that these cops were making $40,000 a year, $45,000 a year. Are you kidding? I would think that'd be the last job I would want, unless you just want to be over people. You want to boss people around. I guess probably a few of them want to be serve their communities and all that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of it is just a personality. They want to be cops. They want to be in charge. They want to whatever. I'd be the last job I would want. They have to be there. I'm not saying that we don't need them. I'm not saying we don't need cops, but I wouldn't want to be one. Yeah, if you're in a black neighborhood, it should be black cops, I would think. I imagine Atlanta does have a lot of black cops, though. I mean, they got a lot of black everything in Atlanta. Always. Brandon Richards said, black women do the work always. Well, a lot of countries have black prime ministers and presidents. It seems to be working out just fine. A lot of black women. How many mayors did I count? Or is there 6 of them? 6 black women mayors right now? Definitely, it was 4 on CNN last night. Never has, okay, black mayors, but never has there been a black governor. Okay, we came close in Atlanta, in Georgia this year. As close as they came. It's next. It's got to happen. You know, we're moving in that direction. But a vice president with Trump, a governor, I would imagine, as far as their power, a governor is more hands-on. They have to actually, you know, run the state. But as far as the prestige of the job, I think vice president is pretty good. Something happened to the president, that's your president. And they're black senators, you know, congresswomen, all everywhere. Things are getting better. Virginia had a black governor. Oh, Virginia, wait a minute. Okay, now Brandon, Ostrich, you're going to start an argument here. Now, which is it? Virginia had a black governor. So did New York. New York. Who was the New York State governor? A black woman. A black woman? Wait a minute. Had a black governor. No, so you said a black governor. Who was it, Brandon Richard? I don't remember. We've got a black mayor here. A black woman mayor here in San Francisco. London Bree. There's never been a black female governor, though. Okay. So there has been a black governor. I'm trying to think of who that was. You think like of New York State, we would have heard of it. Atlanta cops are walking off the job right now. Atlanta's they're walking off the job in protest. Dark night. Or they're not walking on the job because they don't want to work there anymore. If they're walking off the job, can they walk off the job and then walk back on the job? Or just something that's cooked up by their they all have unions, policemen's unions. I would imagine a walk-off would be something that is organized. So, but if they're walking off as if this is their decision, their personal decision to walk off, are they able to walk back on them when they're tired of protesting? I hope nothing bad happens in Atlanta. I really do. Atlanta calls LAPD for assistance. The fuck? Really? All that's going on? I better get back on my news program. Damn, it changes every 2 hours. Walk away from TV 2 hours and come back to a whole different news, at least in these last couple of 2-3 months. Atlanta, so they having a walkout of cops. Now, that'd be an interesting story, because you definitely have to have cops. I mean, we may get mad at them. We may get mad at individuals and blame the whole department, but we still do need police officers. Or the looting gonna start again. People ain't looting because they feel like they get caught. Okay, Pennsylvania has never had a black governor. Now, almost nowhere. He's saying that New York State has had a black governor. I don't remember who it was though. I really don't. And what else? Who else was it, Brandon? David Patterson. Okay. David Patterson, was that the governor of New York? See, I don't know. Apparently, mayors are a real commonplace. Doug Wilder, former VA governor. We're getting educated here, aren't we? I'll be the first to admit I don't know. I don't hardly even know my local politicians because I don't watch local news. They talk too much about traffic and weather and sports and all that, all of which I'm not interested in. But yeah, I should. I mean, I know who the mayor is, but I don't know who the local politicians are. I know who my governor is. David Patterson was appointed and served for 1 year, but gave out lots of stimulus money and food stamps. What? Remember, David Patterson was appointed and served. He served only 1 year. Okay. This is the guy you're saying was the governor of New York. So was he just a acting governor? Atlanta needs to experience what it's like to be. I don't know about governors. To me, it seems like your mayor would be more interested people because, like, San Francisco is a city, right? And then they got maybe 100 different cities before you even get to LA. So the local governments are different in all these places. Some of them are rural places. Some of them are wine country. So they're the governor over all of this stuff. But the mayors are really the hands-on people, I would think, mostly. I mean, we hear about more about. Well, I don't know. I just think that the mayor of your city is more significant to what goes on in your particular city. Because San Francisco, I mean, California is so big. I mean, it's along the whole coast. So once Northern California doesn't look anything like Southern California, but then you got Central California and all these different places. I'm sweating again. And it's all with my whole life, never sweating. Now I sweat all the time. Elevated from Lieutenant Governor David Patterson. Okay. Elevated from Lieutenant Governor. So he was the Lieutenant Governor, and then David Patterson was the acting governor, or he just had to finish out someone else's term. He was blind? Oh my God, y'all guys got all the damn. First black police chief. So who is that? That was Patterson as well? It seems like there's a lot of black police chiefs around this country too. I wasn't aware of. Black Wall Street. Okay. You know what city was Black Wall Street in? I'm just recently becoming aware of that, even. Our current mayor began digging. This is from Mixed Blood, in Indian Mixed Blood. Our current mayor began digging the bodies up from the 1921 race riots. What happened here on Black Wall Street? Where was Black Wall Street? Don't be calling me stupid. Just answer the question, please. I ain't the only one that don't know. Okay, that was in Tulsa. Oh, that was a race riot they're talking about then. I know Tulsa was supposed to have one of the biggest race riots in the United States history. Is that the one they were talking about? Is that what the name of it was? Yeah, the governor runs the whole state. I mean, I'm aware of that. They make decisions that affect the whole state. So we have Governor Newsom, he runs the whole state kind of thing. I'm just saying that as far as local politicians, it seems like we hear more about our mayor than our governor. Except when something like Corona's going on, because the governor has to make decisions that affect the whole state. What happened? Oh, Joey Jonathan, what are you talking about? Oh, Joey Jonathan, that you in the picture? He said, what will they get rid of? Go-Gurt characters? What's a Go-Gurt? And Jake Jabs from American Furniture Warehouse. That used to be my name, Jab. Well, some people call me Jab, but it was my old street name was Jabber. But so Jabs was that racial? There's so much information, so much stuff you're supposed to learn, and it is not easy at 62. It was the first time bomb was dropped in American soil. Oh, yeah, that was the riot they were speaking. Okay, so I am aware then of the Tulsa riot. I just didn't realize that was the same riot as the Black Wall Street. We are going to civil war. No, I'm not going to no damn civil war, Stephanie. We just got to get Trump out of office. That's all. If Trump thought that a civil war would keep him in office, he would fight it. You see how eager he was to call in the damn armed forces to control a few people in front of the White House. Use tear gas against them and everything else. No, he would like to go in that direction. I'm so proud of America that we're not going in that direction that he would have us go in. Because Trump is going to try to turn to racial now. That's his only hope. I don't know, but I think the minorities, the individual minority, if you put them all together, they would still challenge that if you're just going to run purely on race. Oh, you want to see Squeenie, Lisa? Squeenie, you being summoned. Where you go? Oh, there he is. Come on, baby. Say hello to Lisa. Lisa likes Squeenie. Come on, Squeenie. Say hello to Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lisa and chat. Look how fluffy he looks. See how fluffy he looks? I had to wash him because the guy touched his head. What you doing? Say hello. Say hello to Lisa. Say it over there. What you doing, Lisa? What you doing, Lisa? He's so handsome. These dogs are a mystery to me. They don't talk. Usually they don't do nothing. Well, he does curl up with me a lot. But you can't help but love him. And I'm walking down the street, people be saying, oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. The people just, what is that? Is it magic? Part of God's plan. He wants us to have the dogs. Squeenie for president. I think Squeenie do a better job than Trump. I don't think Trump does that much. I really don't think he does that much. He kind of, the staff, I mean, well, whatever. Whatever. Maybe Trump has done something. I can't see it doing a damn thing other than cut taxes for rich people. That's his legacy. And that's what they are. I'm sure that's what they talk about when they go to Mar-a-Lago. An easier tax burden they have. We don't want no Democrat. They're going to raise the taxes back up. People, how many billions do you really need to live? I mean, don't you just need a few $1 million to live? Damn. Yep, nice Squeenie is a cutie pie. Oh, I like your thumbnail with the little crown on the side. Everybody has crowns these days. Y'all kings and queens. You see the video of Trump having trouble walking down the ramp? No, but I heard about it earlier. He's probably senile, old fool. They said Reagan at the end of his term that he had dementia, and they just kept him in office because he was almost done, you know. But yeah, we love these Squeenie dogs. They don't even do you deserve the love, Squeenie? Yep. Well, he's always here, so I guess that's enough love. A lot easier to get along with some of these husbands. You don't argue. All right, you guys, just want to come in and talk with you for a little bit. So we're glad this dude has been at least charged. We don't know how it's going to end up, but we're praying for Atlanta, Georgia. And I don't know about this situation. I got a couple things I got to look into because I didn't know about this translating, and I didn't know about this. These cops are walking off of Atlanta police force. That's inviting more looting. So let's pray for Atlanta. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming in. It's always good to talk to you. Touch base later.